Winnemucca to week number 12 on the Winnemucca Insiders Football Challenge. And Terry, for the Three Musketeers here, it was a rough week for us.
You know, I got 5, you got 5, which is okay. Dave had a tough week with 2, but it was a tough week. And we all agreed on Navy, Minnesota, wrong. We all agreed on Washington State, that was right. Then we all agreed, again, on the Jaguars, that was wrong. We were 1 of 4 in agreement. I told you that
every time we do this,
when we all agree, generally we're seeing something that's not there and we're on the wrong side.
Well, I've got some picks this week. I tell you right now, we will not all be in agreement on a number of these games, that's for sure. So get us started off, Terry, on these first 3 games here.
The first game, I think it's one of the better games of the weekend. We got Penn State going to Ohio State. Ohio State's been killing people. Number 2 in the nation. They're 10-0. I think they're probably 10-0 against the spread, or they're probably 9-1.
Yeah.
You probably have that information. Penn State is 9-1 with the 1 loss a week ago, 2 weeks ago,
right,
with Minnesota. So spread is 18.5. I don't have a. I think the spread seems higher than it should be for a game of this caliber at number 2 versus number 9. But Ohio State has been blowing out the competition this year.
Well, and I know Davey's a Penn State fan. He's probably chomping at the bit to get 18.5 points. But let me help you with your decision-making process. The home team, folks, which is the Buckeyes, they're 5-1 against the spread in this series in the last 6 games. The Penn State Nittany Lions, well, they don't really play very well in Ohio Stadium. They are 3-9 against the spread at Ohio Stadium. But that doesn't even matter because Terry already knew who I was going to go with. Dave already knew who I was going with. I'm going with the Buckeyes.
You know, with 18.5, I mean, I don't like this game because Ohio State could beat them by 25. I mean, just the way they've been playing.
Yep.
I'm just hoping that there's somebody who can stand up to them. I'm taking Penn State with 18.5 and hope they make a game of it.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, if Penn State would have slipped past Minnesota, this spread would have been 8.5, not 18.5. But they didn't, so it's therefore we have 18.5. But still, Ohio State's good. I've been saying that they're the best team. I still can't go against my team. I'll take Penn State in 18.5. That's a lot of points.
Well,
even if Penn State puts up 21, that's 30. You got to score 40. I got to take that. That's an absurd number.
Now, Dave, you know who's coming back for the Buckeyes, right?
Their defensive end.
Chase Young, who I think could very well be the Heisman Trophy candidate, the winner. But if not him, then probably the other Ohio product who used to be a Buckeye, Joe Burrow, the quarterback for LSU. So who knows? But this next game is going to be fun because I was very upset with Baylor last week when they lost.
So Baylor has fallen to 9-1 on the season, which is great for Baylor. They're currently ranked 13 in the nation, playing Texas, who's currently ranked 19 with a record of 6-4. Hard to believe Texas is still 19 with a 6-4 record, but
it's because they're Texas.
Well,
it's
it's not
true.
just that. They've been playing good teams. I mean, the next game we'll talk about this again because we've got a big favorite in Fresno State who has their record is poorer than Nevada. But
anyways,
I know. Texas Baylor. You probably give us a history of this matchup. I guarantee Texas has got the upper hand in this matchup.
They do, actually. The road team, which is Texas, the Longhorns, they're 4-1 against the spread, and they're also 7-3 against the spread in Baylor, in Waco. So that's interesting. Now, Baylor Bears.
Well, I think if you dug deeper, they've been playing each other for a long time. If you went back over the last 50 years, Texas is probably 45-5.
Oh, I guarantee that. And then the Baylor Bears, well, they're 6-1 against the spread in the month of November. For that reason, I think they're coming out with a vengeance. I just don't think Texas has a very good defense this year. I'm going for the Baylor Bears to cover the spread.
I'm going to go the other side here. I'm going to take Texas, and not because I like this game either. I think Texas has a mediocre season, but they just have a history in this game. It's kind of like my Washington State Cougars. Even in our best season, we cannot beat USC.
Why is that, I wonder?
Texas has got Baylor's number. So
we can't beat Washington either.
We beat Washington. We beat them a lot more than USC. So we're
that's probably true.
20%, but that's true too. Every year that we need to beat Washington to make it to the right bowl game.
I know that because I've been a victim of the bets.
this year though, we're going to be the underdog. Watch for the Apple Cup this year. This is the kind of game that we win when we're the underdog at Washington.
And you'll be a big underdog.
All right.
Every time we're the favorite, we don't do it. Baylor shouldn't be the favorite.
Getting back to Texas Baylor, I agree with everything Terry said. Just tradition alone. I just can't see it. I would money line this one. I like Texas over Baylor. I like their quarterback on Texas.
Okay, next
Really?
game.
You do? You like Ellinger, huh?
Yeah, he's tough.
Okay.
Next game, we put a local game on here. Nevada's playing at Fresno State, and again, this is the one that didn't make sense. Nevada's 6-4 in the season. They have not been very good. They've lost to every decent team they've played, but Fresno hasn't been a ton better at 4-6. Two of those losses, one's Minnesota,
Yes.
and I think one was there were two top 10 ranked.
Yeah.
teams,
So
they played better.
didn't they lose to USC?
It was SC. Yeah, first game of the season.
So they
lost to
played
SC.
two very, very good football teams, and you know.
So they're
Came up
again,
short.
but still, they're 4-6, and reverse that with those two games off the roster. They're 6-4. Why are they a 13.5-point favorite?
Well,
I mean,
I'm gonna tell you
Nevada
why.
has been poor. Okay, let's hear what you have to say.
Reno is 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 meetings against Fresno State, and that's one of the reasons. And besides that, their strength of schedule is a lot
I know
better than Reno's. Now, the spread's 13.5. The road team in this series is 7-1 against the spread. I think Nevada's going to lose. UNR will lose this game for sure, but I'm going to take the Wolfpack to cover the 13.5.
Uh-oh. Last time I took Nevada, with the
Yeah, you
double-digit
lost.
spread. I think they lost by 30.
That's true.
But here I am again. This is a bit of a local sentiment. I'm going to take Nevada to make a showing in this game.
I'll be honest, I've seen Nevada play a couple times, barely. Fresno, I only got glimpses of. But I'll tell you something, UNR's a bad team. I'm taking Fresno just based on that.
Bad, but they're 6-4. They need one more win to be bowl eligible.
No,
And
they're already bowl eligible.
And
They
they're
got
going
6
to be
wins.
the worst bowl eligible team I ever saw. I'm taking Fresno.
How about that?
Oh,
Tough game either way. Okay.
All right, folks. So that's going to do it for segment number 1. When we come back, Dave, Terry, and myself will cover the first 4 pro games. Welcome back, folks, to segment number 2 here. And if I recall, Terry, this first game, I had the Seahawks as my best bet last week, didn't I? No, or was it the Saints?
Seahawks didn't play last week.
It was the
it's kinda hard
Saints.
to take them. You did have the best bets.
Who
you
did
said
I
that.
have?
I took Minnesota, which was bad. Dave took Navy, which is bad, and you did take the Saints.
Yep. So
you did
I
have
knew it
the
was an
best
S.
bets. Okay, so a game of interest to the panel here. We got the Seahawks going to the Eagles. The Eagles are 5-5 on the season. They're a 2.5-point favorite at home. Seahawks are 8-2 on the season. Line almost doesn't seem right, but the line this morning was 1.5. So the money's going towards the Seahawks in this game. And it doesn't matter what you have to say. I'm going to take the Seahawks in this game.
Make this quick.
I love that. That is hilarious. Okay, first of all, Dave, before you go, I have to tell you, my wife and I talked about this very game last night. And she says, I have always circled the Seahawks for Terry, and I always circle the Eagles for Dave. She says, now that they're playing for each other, I don't know what to do. And she says, I do know. She went out, she got a coin, she flipped it, and it came up Eagles. So my wife took the Eagles. But now, that doesn't mean I'm going to, because the Seahawks are 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 meetings against the Eagles, and the road team is 7-3 in their last 10 meetings in this series. I'm taking the Seahawks. I still think that your quarterback is looking pretty good this year.
Hey, he's an MVP candidate, 1 of 4.
I like him. And your quarterback's not an MVP this year. 3 years ago, yes.
Boy, is that an understatement. Anyway, it kills me, but I'm taking the Seahawks. I got to win some games here. Eagles can't beat them.
Yeah, on the season, it is. I have 51, so I'm still less than 500. Dave at 55 is we were on week 11, so he's almost right there. You're at 62, so there is some distance between me and you, but you and Dave are close, and me and Dave are close. So okay, so all 3 of us on the Seahawks. Next game, we got the Broncos 3-7 going to the Bills. Would seem easy, but the Bills are 4.5-point favorite.
Broncos
at
have been
home.
covering some spreads.
Broncos could have won last week. Should have won last week.
Oh,
They had Minnesota beat.
This team drives me nuts. The Broncos,
20 points in the third quarter. I believe
they're
they were up.
0-5 against the spread in their last 5 road games. And the underdog in this one, which is the Broncos, is 5-0 against the spread. But on the other side, the Bills are 4-0-1 against the spread in November. I can't help myself. I have to go with the Bills. I think that Josh Allen is playing pretty damn good for the Bills. I think that team's on a roll, and I'm going to take Buffalo.
Broncos at 3-7. I think they won 2 of the last 3, so they're playing better, and they could have won
Much
last
better.
week, but they, so it's a game I'm not crazy about. What's funny is I'm in this losers pool which is what I should be doing in this.
We got to create that next year.
But, what you got to do is pick one NFL loser per week, and I'm still alive after 11 weeks. This is a tough week to pick because there are teams like the Broncos, which Bills at 7-3, they should win that game. Forget about the spread. Or you go down and look at the Dolphins and the Browns, but the Dolphins are playing better. Your Bungles are in the next game.
I know. I'm thinking you should take them as your loser.
0-10. They looked better this last week. They
did.
They're not going to go winless this season. They're going to win a game here in the next
I do agree.
So Steelers are hurt getting to the wrong game. But anyways, this is a tough week to pick, I think winners and losers. But in this game, logic says take the Bills at home, lay the 4.5.
So Terry took the Bills.
Oh boy, this is a scary one. Broncos, I think they played such a good game against Minnesota, come up on the short end. This week's going to be a letdown. I think the Bills take them at home. Plus, the Bills are tough at home.
I agree with you, Dave. I do think the Bills are very tough at home.
So the next game I alluded to it, the Steelers are going to the Bengals. The Bengals are 0-10 this year. Although they could have won last week.
They looked really good last week in Oakland. I got to give it to them. And they covered. Matter of fact, Dave, when I came in, didn't you say you actually took the Bengals on the parlay?
I did take them. I had the Bengals.
Yeah,
so they covered their spread.
Yeah, they covered their spread.
All the big dogs last week covered their spreads. None of them pulled off a win. So this week Steelers at 5-5 going to the Bengals. It seems like an easy pick to take the Steelers, but boy, they look bad on Monday night.
For all you Steeler fans out there, I can tell you Pittsburgh is 16-3-2 against the spread in Cincinnati. Not good for my Bengals. And another stat bad for my Bengals is they're 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 home games. But, like Terry says, I don't care what you're going to say. I'm taking the Bengals. I can't help myself.
These games going down the stretch.
I know, right?
Who knows? They did make the change of quarterback because Dalton was on the sideline last week and he's not hurt.
No, he's been on the sideline for 3 weeks.
Okay. So they're kind of getting it together, and that's what I say about the Dolphins too. Even though they've been not a good team, they're playing better as the season goes on.
Yep, I agree.
Boy, this is a tough one. I'll tell you what, I'm going to take the Bengals. I'm going to take them just because they improved last week, and I don't think the Steelers are that swift either, to be honest with you.
That team.
So who'd you take, Terry? You took the Steelers?
I went with Steelers.
I'm not taking a money line. I'll hide behind a 6.5.
Exactly.
I'll take the Bengals there.
All right, good.
Remains to be seen if they win a game yet. There's only, 6 to go?
Come on, we can do it.
There is 6 to go. It depends on your buys. We're week 12. We go to week 17.
So I'm thinking that we're playing for the Joe Burrow or Chase Young sweepstakes.
They should. You need to prove that.
Okay, last game on this segment. We got the Buccaneers 3-7 going to the Falcons 3-7. Falcons are 4.5 point favorite at home, mainly because they won a couple big games here recently. And if it wasn't for last week or the week before where they beat the Saints, they should be an underdog at home to the Buccaneers, but they're a favorite now.
All right, everybody. You all know that I cannot stand Jameis Winston. I think he's a PU quarterback, and he proves me right time and time again. Every once in a while he has a lucky game, but for the most part, he couldn't start at Lowry as far as I'm concerned. But the Buccaneers are 0-6 against the spread in their last 6 games, and the home team is 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 meetings amongst these. I'm going to take the Falcons, give the 4.5. I think they win this one handily.
I take the Falcons just because they're playing better, and again, preseason the more talented team was the Falcons.
Yes,
just been an
and I agree
this year.
Yep, I agree.
I'm going to take Tampa. I'll tell you why. Because Falcons they have played good the last 2 weeks, but that's as a dog. Can they handle a favorite role? I don't think so. I'm going to take Tampa.
If it wasn't for those last 2 weeks, they would be an underdog. That's what I was saying. It kind of scares me.
They kind of waited too long in the season to start winning, but anyway, I'm going to take the Bucs and hide behind the points.
But Matt Ryan's a way better quarterback than Jameis Winston, and they got Julio Jones.
They've got some talent. Again, on paper, they should be a lot better than 3-7 at this point, but it is what it is.
All right, folks, that's going to end it for segment number 2. When we come back for 3, it'll be the last 3 pro games, and then Dave, Terry, and myself will give you our best picks of the week. Welcome back, folks, to segment number 3 here. And, Terry, this is 2 teams going in the wrong direction as far as I'm concerned.
Well, the Raiders are 6-4. They're
playing a lot better.
Kind of where they need to be in the playoff picture. Jets are not 3-7. Just like the 2 teams we talked about last time, both 3-7. Neither one of them are going to be in the playoffs. So Jets at home getting 3.5 from the Raiders. We alluded to who was playing. The Bungles were playing the Raiders last week and had a chance to win that game.
Yes, they did.
So
yes, they did.
Anything can happen in the NFL. I just don't like the 3.5, and I'm going to take the Jets at home to to possibly upset these guys.
All right. Once again, Terry, you're wrong.
Okay.
Here's why. Now,
That's simple.
yeah. In defense of Terry, the home team, folks, in this series is 8-2-1 against the spread. So that's good for Terry. What's bad for Terry is the Raiders are 4-1 against the spread against the Jets in their last 5 meetings. For that reason, I'm taking the Raiders all the way. And my buddy John Gruden.
You got to go back like 7 seasons to have 5 meetings between these two.
I don't
Maybe
care.
even 10.
It
So-
still sounds good to me.
Totally-
You're right, though.
I'm going to take the Raiders. I'll tell you why. Because the Jets quarterback is painful to watch. I think he's horrible. Not only that, getting back to
USC quarterback, too, I might
that's true.
add.
Most of them are horrible.
They are
Anyway,
horrible.
Raiders, getting back to the Bengals thing. The Raiders would have blew out the Bengals last week. This spread would be much higher, but they played them close, so it's low against the Jets, and they're a much better team than the Jets. I'll take the Raiders.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, next game we got the Dolphins going to the Browns. So the Dolphins are 2-8, going to the Browns. Browns are favored by 10.5.
Boy.
So, who are the Browns at 4-6 to be favored by 10.5? And again, Dolphins just like they were 0 for I think 6 or 7. They won 2 of the last 3 or 4.
Yep.
They're playing better. I'll take those 10.5 points.
Yeah, I'm with you, Terry. It's tough for the stats aren't in our favor. The Dolphins are 1-5-1 against the spread in their last 7 meetings against the Browns. Not like
But
Terry
they've
says,
never-
it
they've
could
never
have been.
the underdog. In the last 10 meetings, they were not an underdog, not a 10-point underdog.
You know what? You're right. But the road team in this series is 3-1 against the spread. I'm going to take the Dolphins plus 10.5. I was going to take him anyways. I think that Fitzgerald has got that team going in the right direction right now.
Well, Dolphins didn't cover last week for the first time in a month, I think. They covered three last, and then they lost last week. They didn't cover the spread last week. And I think that's going to continue. I think this is a sucker bet for you to take the Dolphins. I'm going to take the Browns. They're not that much better of a team, to be honest with you, but I just have a feeling.
10.5 is a big number for
It
a
is
team
a
that's
big
not
number.
that much better in the NFL. Okay, last game on the contest, we got the Saints hosting the Panthers. Panthers are 5-5. Saints are 8-2. The spread is 9.5. So another big spread. This is another potential. Should I take the Panthers as my loser in my loser pool? Seems like an easy pick, but after the Saints got beat by Atlanta, that was in that pool that I'm talking about. About half the people in that contest got booted by the Saints losing to Atlanta 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
So they were a 14.5 point underdog that came out and beat them outright.
Outright, yeah. Well, who are you going to take in this one?
I'm going to listen to what you have to say
Okay.
first. I'm kind of on
All right, so here's the thing. The underdog in this series, which is the Panthers, is 9-1 against the spread in the last 10 meetings, and they play a lot against each other. And the Saints, well, they're 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 games overall. Although the one loss was what you just talked about. For that reason, I don't think that the Panthers are going to play poor again. I think the Saints will win this game. I'm going to take the Panthers plus the 9.5. That's close enough for 10 for me to go for double digits.
So you're taking the Panthers.
I am.
9.5. Yep. Dave?
I'll go next. I'm going to take the Saints. Panthers do the same thing every year. They start off on fire. You think, hey, they're good. They should win. They're going to the playoffs, maybe the Super Bowl. Next thing you know, they're not even in the playoffs. Same story, different year. Saints kill them. I think Saints kill them.
All right, good. That's a good call.
Okay, I haven't picked yet, and I don't like the 9.5, but I'll take the Saints at home because
All right.
I don't see the Panthers.
All right, Terry, who do you like on your best bet, buddy?
Best bets. I'm going to pass the baton here. I mean, I would take the Seahawks, but that would seem like a cop-out. I don't see a truly something I'm crazy about here. I like the Bills a little bit. Of course, I like my Seahawks, and I'll probably bet on them. But as far as best bets here, nothing jumps out as being a great bet here.
Dave, do you want to go or you want me to go?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I just convinced myself. I'm going to take the Saints over the Panthers. I think that's an easy one.
All right, so
With
Dave is
9.5.
taking the Saints. All right, well, I don't think that either of my two friends here at the table are going to be shocked at this
Ohio
pick.
State.
Oh, you got it, Terry. It's going to be Ohio State. He knew it. Davey knew it. Actually, Dave, I was a little surprised. I thought you might take Penn State as your best pick.
No, I'm not that. Ohio State's a really good team. You don't even kill me to really take Penn State. I
Yeah.
was going to take Ohio State, but I'm going to take Penn State.
Yeah, I almost did that just to be contrarian. Okay, and I'll take the Seahawks. Like I said, I'm not
Okay.
crazy about any of them, but 8-2 going up against 5-5.
You
They
guys
seem to have
really
the
rub
luck
it in
this
my
year.
face. You with Penn State, you with Ohio State, you with the Seahawks. We'll see.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for me, Dave and Terry. Hey, want to thank everybody that's been coming out on Monday night. We've been having a packed house every Monday night. More giveaways this week. Come on down and enjoy us down here at
We got the Ravens Rams. So
the
pretty good
Ravens
game.
Rams, a good one.
game.
And it's in Los Angeles, I
Yep,
believe.
yep.
Yep, good, be a good one. Goodbye, everybody.